What if the world was never happening to you but reflecting you? What if the argument you had this morning was not a random storm but a mirror held up to your own breathless mind? What if delays, rejections, and lonely rooms were not punishments but invitations? Imagine you stop chasing noise for one day. You turn off the constant glow of validation. You sit inside the quiet like a cathedral. When you stop being available to what drains you, everything changes. Pause the scroll for a breath and listen. Stop trying to fix them. Fix the mirror inside you and watch their script change. What if every rejection is not a no but a mirror pointing to your next yes? Stay for 3 signs it is true. You are not unlucky, your mirror is foggy. 3 breaths can clear it. Detachment is not losing them, it is losing the part of you that loses yourself. Watch how control collapses when you stop chasing. Give me 90 seconds to prove your next boundary can save you 6 months of chaos. Hold this curiosity gap and walk with me. We will close each loop by the end. Our lives look like mosaics of accidents. A boss raises their voice and our heart collapses. A friend forgets us and we rewrite the story of our worth. Bills pile up and we believe the universe is against us. We scroll and compare. We hustle and harden. We promise ourselves calm after the next checkbox, but chaos keeps finding our door. We say, they made me feel this way. We say, life is unfair. We say, I never get a break. Beneath it lies an exhausted belief. Out there controls and here, there is a quiet law woven through spiritual traditions and depth psychology. As within, so without. The outer is the mirror of the inner. Carl Jung wrote, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Every scene is a surface reflecting the currents of your psychic ocean, not a perfect copy, not a simplistic blame, but a resonance, a correspondence. Your eyes do not only look at the world, they color it. The psyche casts hidden parts of us onto the screen of others. We exile our anger and see only aggressors. We hide our longing and call others needy. We bury our brilliance and hate the confident. Projection is not a moral failure, it is a survival strategy, but it distances us from our own life force. When you reclaim what you put on them, the scene softens. Psychic energy allocation. What we feed grows. Attention is a currency that prints reality. If we invest our energy into fear, the nervous system primes for danger. It scans for threat and finds it even in neutral faces. If we attend to lack, patterns of lack populate our days. Not because the universe is petty, but because the brain completes the story it expects to see. Events arrive like unpainted clay. We are the color. We attach meanings from old scripts and call them truth. He did not reply, therefore I am not valuable. They chose someone else, therefore my path is blocked. The mind is a courtroom. The verdict is written before the evidence. But meaning can be edited. When the meaning changes, the mirror image changes. Nervous system state. Your state is the lens. In fight or flight you see enemies. In freeze you see impossible walls. In calm you see options. The world did not change between sunrise and sunset. Your state did. Now watch how the inner mirror shapes our relationships. You cling and they pull away. You beg and they belittle. You perform and they yawn. It looks like they made the rules, but attachment fear writes a script that invites a counter role. Detachment triggers other people's control narratives. When you stop being available to chaos, controllers escalate. They call you cold, selfish, ungrateful, not because you are wrong, but because their dance needs your old steps. When you withdraw, people pleasing, the covert contract breaks. You stop buying love with self-betrayal. Some will accuse, some will test, some will quietly respect the new boundary, even if they never say it. When you stand in self-regard, it reframes the scene for everyone watching. They either meet you there or fall away. This is not magic, this is magnetism. How do we hold the mirror without drowning in guilt or naive blame? Remember 2 truths at once. 1, you are not responsible for every event that happens. 2, you are responsible for the meaning you assign and the energy you bring. Reframe rejection as redirection. Reframe conflict as curriculum. Reframe delay as calibration. Reframe jealousy as a compass pointing to unlived desires. Reframe criticism as a mirror of unhealed places or as feedback for craft. Reframe silence as a chance to hear your own voice. Rumi whispers, the wound is the place where the light enters you. Do not worship the wound, but do not waste it either. Let it teach you your edges and your doors. Picture this. You are in a meeting. Your idea falls to the floor like a bird that could not lift. Old story. I am invisible. New mirror. My voice shakes because it wants to be claimed. You leave the room. Instead of rage scrolling, you sharpen the idea. You book 5 minutes with a sponsor and present it again. You do not ask permission to exist. You give your idea a spine. The room mirrors back differently next time. Another scene. A relationship becomes a maze of mixed signals. Old story. If I try harder, they will choose me. New mirror. The part of me that fears emptiness is trying to rent love. You breathe. You name your need without negotiation. I do not do almost relationships. If this cannot be mutual, I release us. They call you dramatic. The old you apologizes. The new you bows and leaves. The mirror cracks and light enters. The next partner meets the standard. Your presence sets. Projection prompts. When you call them selfish, ask, where am I starving and not feeding myself? When you call them arrogant, ask, where am I afraid to own my competence? When you call them unavailable, ask, where do I keep a wall to avoid being seen? Each honest answer returns a fragment of your power. Psychic energy practice. Interrupt doom loops by changing the channel of attention, not with denial, but with direction. Name 3 pieces of evidence that support a kinder story. Name 3 micro actions available now. Energy moves where attention rests. Place your attention where your future lives. Meaning practice. Start with narrative neutrality before positivity. Instead of they hate me, try, they did not respond. Instead of I failed, try the result did not match my intention. Neutrality gives the nervous system room to breathe. From breath comes wise choice. State practice. Vagus nerve first, values next. Regulate, then relate, then reason. A paced breath can turn a locked door into a window. A walk outside can return your eyes to horizon. When the body returns to safety, the mind returns to honesty. You will see the mirror in power games. When you stop chasing the unavailable, they accuse you of playing games. They require your pursuit to confirm their worth. Your pause deprives them of proof. They panic and project. Do not bite the bait. Hold your ground with soft eyes. Say what you mean and do what you say. Consistency is the antidote to manipulation. In families, the mirror is generational. Your calm boundary exposes the ancestral belief that love equals sacrifice. They call you disloyal, but you are writing a new allegiance to the living, to the children watching, to a form of love that does not demand a receipt of pain. Here is the deeper turn. Life is not a vending machine. Life is a vineyard. You cannot demand grapes from a thorn bush. You cultivate inner soil. You prune old vines. You water with attention. You harvest in season. The outer fruit grows from an inner climate. The mirror of the soul is not instant manifestation theater. It is patient alignment. A line attributed to the Tao reminds us, when there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. To release the inner enemy is to stop waging war on your own heart. 1. The 2 breath rule. When triggered, take 2 slow breaths in and out through the nose. Name what you feel and what you need. I feel tense. I need clarity. Then choose the smallest next action. 2. The mirror journal. Each night write 3 charged moments for each ask. What did I project? What meaning did I assign? What state was I in? Rewrite 1 sentence for each moment from a neutral or compassionate lens. 3. The energy audit. List top 3 drains and top 3 sources. Reduce 1 drain by 20% this week. Increase 1 source by 20%. Attention is a budget and you are the treasurer. 4. The clean boundary. A boundary has a sentence and a consequence. Example, I am available to discuss this when voices are calm. If yelling continues, I will pause the conversation and return in an hour. Keep it short, warm, and consistent. 5. The gratitude glance. Every morning, find 1 piece of evidence that life is meeting you. Not grand, just true. A warm mug, a kind message, a working body. Say out loud, life and I are on the same side. When fear says everything is collapsing, you say, something is reorganizing. When shame says I am broken, you say, I am in repair. When envy says they have what I never will, you say, they show me what is possible for me. When anger says destroy, you say, protect and then create. If a pattern keeps repeating, do this sequence over 7 days. Day 1, regulate body. Day 2, write your clear request. Day 3, deliver it calmly once. Day 4, watch their behavior, not their promises. Day 5, decide your boundary. Day 6, act on it without ceremony. Day 7, grieve what dies and bless what is born. The mirror updates to reflect a self that keeps its own word. At work, the mirror shows up as cycles of overwork and under-recognition. The outer demand mirrors an inner contract. If I am indispensable, I am safe. Rewrite the contract. I am valuable for outcomes, not overextension. Track outcomes weekly. Share them simply with stakeholders. Ask for what aligns with your role. Decline what belongs to another seat. Respecting your capacity teaches the room to respect it. Money reflects safety scripts. Scarcity says there is never enough, therefore I am never enough. Practice sufficiency. I have enough to take the next right step. Build a tiny cushion, a freedom inch, not a freedom mile. $10 set aside weekly can build the identity of a steward. Identity leads behavior, and behavior compounds into reality. The mirror brightens when the inner child is seen. If you feel outsized reactions, ask, how old is this feeling? Invite that age to sit with you. Place a hand on your chest, say, I am here. I will not abandon you for the approval of strangers. Your nervous system will hear what it has always waited for. If this speaks to something deep inside, stay. In the next part, we will decode triggers with a 3-question map. What is the story in my body? What is the story in my mind? What is the smallest truth I can act on now? We will also rewire identity with micro-commitments that stick. Do not miss it. This is not about blaming victims. The mirror is a tool, not a verdict. Systems exist. Accidents happen. People harm other people. We honor reality, and we honor agency. We change what we can at the level we can, while refusing to abandon our inner post. The mirror is not a shortcut around grief. It is a companion through it. When the day feels heavy, do this 3-minute ritual. Sit, place both feet on the ground, one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Whisper, I align within 3 times. Name one thing you can control. Name one thing you can accept. Let the rest fall off your shoulders like a coat that is not yours. In the comments write, I align within, then share one mirror you are reclaiming this week. Maybe it is the story that you must earn love. Maybe it is the script that urgency equals importance. Witness each other with kindness. We are not fixing each other. We are walking each other home. Viktor Frankl reminds us, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Choose the space. Choose the mirror you want to reflect. Imagine a still lake at dawn. Mist lifts as the sun arrives. The surface, once fractured by wind, becomes glass. The mountains do not move, but their reflection sharpens. Your life is that lake. The mountains are the same responsibilities, the same relationships, the same calling. But when the inner water calms, the outer world finally shows its true shape. You did not force the mountain to change. You invited the lake to remember itself. If you practice this, if you treat every scene as a message, not a sentence, your days will rearrange. People will either find you at your new level or fade at your old. Opportunities that match your regulated courage will appear where panic once lived, and quiet will stop being a stranger. It will become your home. If this offered clarity, subscribe for more deep practice and grounded guidance. Share this with the one person ready to stop fighting the mirror and start polishing it. And before you go, say it gently with me. I align within. I align within. I align within. I align within.